Have you ever noticed that when Emma Frost moves, her chest lags behind a bit? Yeah, that's not just fan service, that's Jiggle physics. And it's way less complicated than you actually think. See, in traditional animation, everything is pre-animated, so it plays the same exact way every time, no matter how much the character moves. But Jiggle physics uses something called a physics bone, and that's just a game changer. A physics bone is a special kind of bone that reacts in real time to simulated forces, so stuff like gravity, momentum, spring, to create a realistic secondary motion. So when Emma moves, her torso moves forward first, as you can see here, and her chest lags behind, then it swings forward and finally settles down. That bounce you are seeing, that's the spring effect, and is one of the core features of a physics bone. Think of it like a flower in a pot. When you move the pot, the flower doesn't follow instantly. Rather, it sways behind a bit, then eventually catches up to the pot. And same thing happens here. That motion is driven by a simulated spring equation, where K is stiffness and X is how far the chest is stretched. Now here's where things get smart. The bones have mass, they have weight, and they use something called weight painting to tell the engine which parts are heavier and how much they should jiggle. Red means heaviest with the most amount of jiggle, yellow is medium, and green is the lightest with the least amount of jiggle. And usually the tip area is painted the heaviest. Why? So that the base of the chest moves first and then the tip follows from behind. It makes the motion look more natural instead of looking like two water balloons floating in space. But here's something you might not have noticed right away. The jiggle always stops and resets the chest back to its original position. That's because of damping. Think of it like friction. Without damping, the chest would bounce forever like it's in zero gravity. Too much damping and it's stiff like plastic. No damping at all and it's chaos. You have to find the sweet spot where it bounces once or twice, then it settles down. But even with perfect spring and damping, things can still go very wrong, like clipping through the body or swinging like a wrecking ball. That's why they use constraint. These are invincible limits that stop the jiggle from rotating beyond a certain angle. Now, don't get it twisted. Jiggle physics isn't just for the chest alone. It's used for the thighs, glutes, hair, capes, coats, and even belts. Basically anything that should keep moving after the body does. If it jiggles, you use Jiggle physics. So yeah, Jiggle physics isn't just fan service, it's a legit animation technique that requires real care and a keen attention to details. So props to the Marvel Rival devs for doing such an amazing job. And if you learned anything new from this today, subscribe because my search history is now cooked.